Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to PreRendered. We are on episode 5. My name is George Benitez, and here I have with me Wade Patrick Sheridan. How you doing, Wade?
Hello, hi.
And also I have with me Ricardo Gale.
Good morning, good morning.
All right, we got a great show for you guys today. Let's get to it.
Let's reconstruct and get history.
This week on What You Playing, what have you been playing, Wade?
Well, as I said last week that I was getting Resident Evil 6 because it was on sale on PSN. I got it for $15, which I don't think is a bad price to try out something that has gotten lukewarm reviews, lukewarm to bad reviews. It really wasn't a hit with critics, and I've heard tons of complaints from fans as well, but I really like the Resident Evil series, and as I said before, I especially loved Resident Evil 5, so for $15 I was more...
Did you play 4?
Yeah, I like 4 too.
Okay, because... Alright, let's go.
No, I love 5 because the co-op. I wouldn't recommend to play 5 by yourself because then I'm like, what's the point of playing? And I'm going to say the same thing with 6. If you're playing Resident Evil 6, do not play by yourself. The game is just not designed to play by yourself. It was designed to be played with somebody. And it makes me wonder if a lot of those reviewers are probably playing it by themselves. And they were like, what is this? Because literally there's sections in the game that only work when you're in co-op.
But here's the thing: you shouldn't be forced to play with somebody. That's,
Correct. That sounds like a design flaw.
Yeah, that's poorly
Right.
designed.
And
It's
I
like-
agree with you, but I'm saying the fun here, the meat of the game, is in the co-op. It's kind of like, I mean, you're right, because it is a Resident Evil game. Because I was gonna say a game like Army of Two, going in that Army of Two is a co-op game, like you just know.
Right.
But I guess Resident Evil doesn't have that same type of thing to it. We're like, oh, this is a co-op game. But if you want to enjoy it, you need to play it with somebody. I'm having a fun time with it. It's not as good as 5 to me, and this game literally is all over the place. There's 4 different campaigns. 3 main ones. The 4th one is kind of a bonus, but 3 main campaigns, and literally you will jump from campaign to campaign, and it's almost as if a different team made each campaign. Like, it's really not focused. That's the word I would use. It's not really focused. Like, every campaign plays completely different.
Right.
And then this new character, Jake, who, spoilers, is the son of Albert Wesker, and you play through his campaign, which is the worst, by the way. It's terrible. I don't like his campaign at all. And
Who
his
the hell did Albert Wesker knock up?
No one.
So
he
early.
cloned himself, dude.
Oh, he cloned himself? Is that
More
what it
than
was?
likely. Hello.
But yeah.
Would you like to go out on a date with me? This is not really a choice.
So yeah, that campaign with Jake is terrible, and the type of gameplay that's in there is kind of like this new hand-to-hand combat, actiony, quick time event clusterfuck. Like that's his campaign. So like I actually started with his because I was reading online the perfect order that you should play the game, because the stories interweave and intersect with each other, and I wanted to just go straight through the right way. So you're supposed to start with him, and I was just having a terrible time. Me and my partner who I was playing with, we were not enjoying ourselves. But when we went to go play Leon's, we had a blast. It's Leon's is like Resident Evil. You feel as if the game should have just been this. If the game
I
was,
played. I played the Leon campaign, like the first hour of it. It
Yeah.
seemed like that's what I was expecting. Like I was hoping it to be like that, but then again with the co-op, it's hard to make a scary game when it's cooperative because it's
yeah, I mean, there's been twice I've jumped where but I was more surprised at an enemy just coming at me, like, oh crap, I didn't know, I don't know what to do. And there's so much ridiculousness, so much. When you're Jake and you're doing the quick time events, there's a section where you're on a snowmobile, like like a jet ski that's in the snow. What do you call those? What is that?
Snow ski?
I don't know, but those things, there's literally a whole section where you're driving one of those and you're jumping ramps and you're jumping from mountain to mountain, and then there's an avalanche and you're trying to avoid falling rocks and glaciers, and it's all crappily controlled, and it's just stupid. I hate it.
Did you already say snowmobile?
Yeah, that's what I originally called it. I don't know what else to call it.
think it's a snowmobile. That's
Yeah, I think
you
that's
were
what it
right.
is, too.
So what
but
have
yeah.
you been playing, Rico?
I actually finally beat Arkham City. I'm not proud of myself. I beat it about
Woo!
15 minutes ago, so I'm only what is it, like a year and 8 months late. So, and the ending was pretty awesome, but I'm more so just excited about unlocking New Game Plus because apparently the game gets ridiculously difficult, but you start off with all your upgrades and everything. So, I look forward to beating the crap out of a lot of noobs. Yes.
A lot of noobs.
Yes.
I think you're the only person that still says noobs, like, in your regular vocabulary.
Yep, it is in regular rotation.
Yep.
This is my regular word for people.
But as for me, again, I'm lying. I actually resubscribed to Star Wars, the Old Republic.
Did you know?
I thought it's free
Yeah.
to play. Why would you have to resubscribe?
Because the free-to-play system, I mean, all you can do really is just play the leveling up, like the bare bone 1 to 50 or 55 or whatever, and you can all you can do is just level up and just do questing. And then you're limited on how many instances you can do and how many PvP war zones you can do. So I just resubscribed because it's not much out of my pocket. It's not a big deal. So, but like the new things that they added was it's interesting. Like you can tell that they're still. I'm pretty sure they updated their game more than what's that other game that I started playing again? Guild Wars 2. Because I played Guild Wars 2 recently, and that game came out almost like a year ago, I think. And nothing has changed. It is the same exact game. Like the bugs are still there. It's just like the game sucks.
Are
Sorry.
more people online playing this now because it's free to play, or
I think it shot up. According to somebody told me that it shot up back to 2 million players.
oh wow, I thought it was doing way worse than that.
To free to play. Guild Wars has gone down since the release, and people, which makes me laugh because everybody was saying like this is going to be the greatest MMO.
Yeah, I heard there was a lot of anticipation about Guild Wars too.
Like like when it released, it was a lot of people were playing it. Now it's just like I'll be lucky if I see anybody on
Hello.
on leveling up in that area or whatever. Like when an event happens, I'm going over to see if anybody else goes. Usually when an event happens on the map, everybody floods it so they can get their XP and stuff. But usually it's just me, and I'm taking on like bosses. So, guys. But
is anyone here?
yeah, just those two games, and League of Legends. They had the new patch, the Freljord patch, and a lot of new stuff. So, guys, if you're looking to get back into League, it's a good time to do it. New characters, new skins, new updates for old characters, new map for all random.
Ooh.
Yeah. So.
What kind of training and practice modes do they have? Because I don't think I'm ready to jump in.
Well, they don't have training and practice modes, but the ARAM, the all random all mid thing.
Uh-huh.
Have you seen that map since then? No, I don't think so. You haven't been
No,
around.
I have not. No.
Pretty much, it's just you pick your random character, and then it's just one lane. It's a really small map, one lane, and that's it. You just 5-on-5 random. Everybody gets a random character.
Duke it out, son.
Yeah, pretty much.
Brutal.
So that's a good way to learn new characters and not really worried about winning or losing, because usually whoever has the better poking team, you know what I mean, like a better range, then you'll be successful, So it doesn't really matter what you play. I mean, you get to learn some new characters on the way that you never would have picked in normal or ranked games.
Interesting.
Like I learned that I hate Orianna. Like I hate.
That's the bald chick, right?
That's the ball chick. Yeah, she's garbage. In my opinion, people love her. I mean, in my opinion, I cannot stand her. She's so annoying. But yeah. Other than that, again, if anybody wants to play, you can just add me. Thorax89, THORAXE89.
I know to spell thorax, George.
Well, some people spell it without the E at the end, so I get it wrong. All right. Rockstar graced us with 3 trailers.
Amazing trailers.
3 great character trailers that just came out, and they pretty much portray all the the characters and their personalities and their stories. So, what did you think about it, Wade? I know you're a big
I'm a big Grand Theft Auto fan, and this is one of my favorite series. Even though 4 really did let me down, and I'm not that big about 4, but I still love the original trilogy that's on PlayStation 2. So I'm excited for this game, and the trailers were just amazing. Movie-like, movie quality. And like you said, the 3 characters, there's Michael, Franklin, and Trevor. They are all completely different from each other, but I'm guessing somehow they're gonna come together. They were coming together a little bit in the Trevor trailer, which is the third and the last one.
right.
And to me, all 3 of them kind of represented the 3 different areas in the setting of the game. Like Michael is in like Beverly Hills, Los Angeles, rich, Hollywood, money. Franklin is like in Compton or whatever, like, the hood, and Trevor is like out in the desert, like
Trailer park.
yeah, trailer park. Yeah, so like I really thought like they're showing you the 3 different areas that are going to be in the game.
What I find hilarious is, out of all of them, it seems like he's enjoying life the most.
Yeah.
He's
Yes,
like
he
probably
does.
the poorest of all of them.
Yeah,
He's
he's out
living
of
it up, son.
Yeah.
You want me to whip my dick out again?
Yeah, he basically says that in the trailer.
Oh my god.
And I also want to mention, well, I mean, Rockstar is always good at doing this, but the music in the trailers just fit it all so perfectly, and it already told me that if these songs are in the game, it already has a better soundtrack than Part 4. It already does.
That is a bold statement, sir.
Yeah, I can't even remember a song from Part 4.
Neither can I.
So I think they're getting the music correct again.
You know
'cause-
why you don't remember it from 4
Why?
though? It's
Why?
because of the new feature that they added with the taxi thing. Like I found myself using the taxi more
that
for
bec-
missions
and-
and stuff. Like
but see-
I didn't even bother doing, any of the
yeah.
I didn't drive around that much
But see,
and then when you are
George-
driving, they're talking, during the missions.
George, I would tell you that though, that why were you compelled to take the taxi? Because the setting must have not been that great to explore. See, I used to be like in San Andreas.
Not
and that,
at all. I hated San Andreas because it was so huge. Like I actually liked 3 the most, then Vice City, and 4 is pretty much the same thing as 3. But
wow, your favorite setting's 3?
yeah, I think 3 is the best. 3 is my favorite Grand Theft Auto. But that might just be nostalgia purposes.
I think you're crazy. I think if you replayed it, you'd change your mind.
I love 3. I will always love 3. Okay, Claude. What is his name? Claude Speed.
Claude.
Love
I don't know his last name.
It's
but-
Speed. It's Speed.
Okay.
And then when I saw him in San Andreas, I was like, ah! I love you.
But I was gonna say, like in 3, Vice City and San Andreas, I love all 3 settings,
Yeah.
and that to the point that I always wanted to drive around from mission to mission just to explore the world, and I never had that feeling in 4. I thought 4's Fox, New York City, Liberty City was boring and drab, and just, I didn't care.
Which Grand Theft Auto was the first one you played, though?
3, I played 3
Okay.
right when it came out.
All right.
And then, like I was saying, in all 3 of those games, the soundtrack just sticks with you. They have amazing soundtracks. In 4, nothing. So hopefully this game, if they use those music, it will be awesome. And
Right.
again, I want to point out there's 3 character trailers because in the game you are going to play as all 3 of them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was implied. Most people know.
Okay. I was just pointing it out just in case.
All right. So, Rico, I know you don't really care for GTA, but do you think this is something that you might check out? Maybe.
I probably wouldn't purchase it, but it does look pretty awesome, and I'm actually even though I don't like Grand Theft Auto, I'm actually a big supporter of it because, well, in like moral support anyway, because Rockstar makes really really great games and they really understand their way around the sandbox engine. So and I'm a very very big fan of content, and Grand Theft Auto games deliver a lot of content for your $60, which is something I'm very very big on. I
Yeah.
don't mind spending money on games, but I hate getting gypped, man. If I spend $60 on your games, please give me my money's worth, and no complaints here.
Yeah, God of War. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
We can
And
keep going.
the Grand Theft Auto games, they give you a lot in their games. You know, look at this one. They give you three completely different characters to play as, and they all of them probably going to have their entire worlds. You could probably going to be able to customize all of them with their living situations. It's ridiculous. I love stuff like that, man. It's sort of like games that reward the gamer,
Right.
and I hope this one follows in those footsteps because
Didn't they have a multiplayer in Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah,
4?
4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure this will have multiplayer also.
Probably something like a little light. I mean, they really don't have to, but you know, it's a nice gesture, I guess.
And that's a good thing you brought up that one too, because that reminds me that the voice acting is amazing in the Grand Theft Auto games.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
cousin, my breath does not smell like American, did it?
It is.
You know what I mean? Like, I played I think 3 and 4 because, like I said, everyone loves those games. So generally everyone's always like, here, play. So I'm vaguely familiar with about all of them, and the voice acting is usually phenomenal, man. And this one even it sounds like it has Maurice LaMarche in it, which is like, he's one of my favorite voice actors because he plays Brain from Pinky and the Brain, and he's the psychiatrist in this one, and that guy's classic.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. It sounds awesome.
Speaking about the characters, I really like the way Rockstar picks their like main characters. They're not like these you know
Typical,
stereotypical, you know, like these, you know, freaking like muscled out guys that look
really
like
good
badasses, you know, good looking guys or whatever. These like they're just normal people, you know. This guy's having a midlife crisis, and then you got like some guy that's balding, some balding hillbilly guy.
And even
then,
in
you know,
3, you know, they gave you the option to choose. You can either be like super buffed out, or you could be that.
the San Andreas.
You mean
fat
San
guy.
Andreas?
San
Yeah.
Andreas, yeah, that's what I meant.
Right, but I still think they were still kind of sticking to, you know, the stereotypical type of characters back then. But now they're kind of branching out. Like, you know, Nico Bellic was really
Yep.
good. Like, he was just like an average Russian guy. You know?
Nico's the best. He's so
And then they
awesome
even
a
like
character.
commented like he was like fat, you know, kind of like he had a gut and all that stuff, and it was just, you know, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, Nico's awesome.
A cool little Easter egg concerning Nico. In one of the earlier GTA 5 trailers, there's a guy holding up like a homeless sign who looks exactly like Nico, to the point that everyone thinks that's like a little joke on him. And on the box art for Grand Theft Auto 5, one of the cars on the license plate, you can see it says like Nico is dead, or Nico, it says like something like that on the license plate on the cover of the game.
That's pretty awesome.
But yeah.
That's pretty cool. But
I was
yeah.
gonna say, the characters, what you were saying, they almost seem anti what you think they would be. Because like Michael, the rich guy, he's like an unhappy rich guy, you know, like he's not living the glamorous life. Franklin, he's like trying to get out of the hood, you know, like they're not
He's trying to come up.
yeah.
Started from the bottom now. Yeah.
They're not so like, you know, like they could have just went with, oh, this is a rich guy, this is the guy in the hood, but instead they're different, and I like that.
Yeah, and I really like. I think I like Trevor the most simply because he's kind of like through that trailer you see all the crazy stuff that you can do in the game, like, you know, kicking people out of helicopters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He seems like the personification of the average GTA player when they just
Of
hop in and
recklessness.
just cause absolute chaos. Like he's us essentially, which is what I like. But
Yeah.
yeah, and you know I'm really interested in what's his name story, Michael's story, because it seems like that guy is just like hates life. Like this is the probably
Yeah.
most like his wife is cheating on him, and you know
His son is
his
fat
son
and
is
annoying.
fat and annoying, and you know wants to be black or whatever. You know, and his daughter hates him. All that stuff. It's just like, why wouldn't he get back into a life of crime?
Yeah. He's having like a midlife crisis, basically, like in
Yeah.
the trailer.
But it's pretty good.
It's fantastic.
Oh,
man.
September 17th is now the release date confirmed.
Yes.
Official.
Rockstar does not care about a next gen.
Yeah. I mean, do you guys think they're gonna come out with a like a shinier looking version?
I think it's possible.
HD version of the
I think
game?
it's possible, but Rockstar is usually not like that, so I actually think they won't.
Right.
You know what I think? I think they're going to release their Game of the Year edition in HD or something like that, like probably a special edition. Or when it comes down to the greatest hits, more than likely they'll port it over, depending on how far along in the developmental cycle the next consoles are. But generally, I think that they don't need to wait. You know, they have a not only do they have a really good following, but they also time and time again deliver good content. So
Right.
they know that
It's gonna sell no matter what.
exactly. So there's no point, no point in waiting. Plus, it's right around the end of the year rush, so it's like last quarter, man.
All right. And I mean, as of right now, next gen stuff. There's nothing really that's been announced. Not many games that's been announced that makes you want to jump to the
Wait a
next.
second, George. Did you just say next gen?
Yes, I just said next gen. Rico.
Segway song.
Due to some technical difficulties, Rico's not here right now for this segment. It's just going to be me and Wade. So
You say it as if like
I
me and Wade.
didn't mean it like that, but okay, it's just me and Wade. And so let's get to it. Microsoft finally came out with a response to Sony. I think Sony. When did Sony have their press?
February.
Like February. Okay. Now Microsoft is finally going to have theirs. It's going to be May 21st, and they're going to announce their new Xbox, Nextbox, whatever.
720 Durango.
720 Durango, Unchained.
Project Natal 2.
And it's all too. You could hold Milo's hand. I don't know. Whatever. So it's gonna be May 21st. They're gonna show it on Game. No, I'm sure. Yeah, Game Trailers, Spike TV, and I'm pretty sure on your
Xbox Live,
Live,
Xbox.com.
yeah, all that nonsense. And it's gonna be an hour long, which is shorter than the
Sony won by a lot.
But I think since E3 is going to be right around the corner after they announce it, I guess that's why it's
coinciding with E3.
Yeah, I think they're just going to give us a little taste what to expect, for E3.
I want to really pay attention to the language they used in this hour-long event because it says, and I quote, "Mark the beginning of a new generation of games, TV, and entertainment." The TV and entertainment part stand out to me that they might be shown a little bit more than any games. Like maybe they'll show one or two games, but they're also going to go into detail about all the other stuff.
Right.
And I can see that being a focus.
So yeah, let's talk about what they should do. I mean, in comparison to, we saw the PlayStation press conference, and they
We
did
didn't
some
see
right.
the console.
We didn't see the console. They did some good things. They did some bad things. So what should Xbox do? I know you're not a big fan of Microsoft.
I'm not a big fan of Xbox 360. I actually like the first I preferred Xbox One and what they did with that.
Okay, so what would they have to do to get you to
On
purchase?
board.
Yes, purchase another, the new Xbox. What would they have?
It would really have to be at least a couple more, because I want to say a whole bunch, but I'm trying to be realistic. Like at least a handful of brand new exclusive IPs, because when you look at the games library on Xbox 360 right now, it is pretty devoid of exclusives.
Right.
They are dabbled here and there. Usually they like to release an exclusive earlier in the year and at the end of the year, and then that's usually it. And I'm not counting Kinect games because those don't count.
Right.
Yeah, so I really need exciting new IPs that can get me interested, and not just a bunch of, oh well, here's a new first person shooter that's exclusive or a new shooting game. Really think out of the box, new IPs, and I'll be definitely excited to get my hands on them on a console like that to play games like that. And also, I would say my biggest gripe against this new console was the always online issue, but as of today, there is some new information about that, so I can't really say that as a complaint anymore. That wouldn't keep me from not buying it, because before, even if they had all the new IPs and they had that DRM though, that DRM would definitely keep me away from wanting the next Xbox.
That's true. I mean, but when you're talking about games and stuff, I mean, these guys are sitting on so many exclusive titles that that was owned by Rare or whatever that Rare made, and they're just kind of sitting on them. Like we saw some of them poke their head out in like the original Xbox. They got Conker's Bad Fur Day or whatever. They got
Yeah.
Perfect Dark. They have Killer Instinct. They have all these Rare games. Banjo-Kazooie. I mean, if they didn't make a crappy, just a normal sequel.
Vehicle combat game.
Yeah, if they did not make that, then they could have easily made a solid platformer. Because I mean, Banjo-Kazooie is probably one of the best platformers back in the N64 days.
Yeah, a lot of people say that. I never actually played Banjo-Kazooie, but I would definitely be open if they brought him back in a traditional platform game.
I mean that one. It used to it was rival to Mario 64. I mean, that was this is pretty good, and you have like all the abilities and all that stuff. I mean, if they just made a traditional, similar to the original, then easily would. I mean, not. I don't understand what they're doing. I don't know whose idea was to just make it vehicle combat or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I mean, even if, maybe it's Rare, maybe Rare's like, well, we don't want to make these games anymore. Well, then Microsoft still has those IPs and give them to someone else, and maybe under someone else, give it, a whole new look at it, give it a whole new take on their classic IPs. Killer Instinct should really come out. Fighting games are hot again.
Exactly.
And an exclusive fighting game is really not something you see too often outside of Super Smash Brothers and PlayStation All Stars. But an exclusive fighting game I think is cool and interesting and different. It stands out.
Definitely. And Killer Instinct was one of the better fighters, back then. I mean, you had a bunch of crappy ones that nobody really knew what they were called, whatever. But you had Mortal Kombat, you had Street Fighter, and then you had Killer Instinct, and
it's still popular with people. People still bring it up.
Yeah, I mean, I still remember some of the characters' names. Like, what was it? Orchid, Falgor, or whatever his name was, Jago.
With this new one, let's change some of these names.
I don't know. I like the cheesiness. The combo breaker or whatever. Yeah.
But yeah, for me, new IPs or bringing back some of their older stuff. That's what I want to see. I'm more of a traditional gamer. I honestly don't care about all the apps. I don't care about all this TV stuff.
That's true.
I don't care about all this Kinect stuff. I really just want games.
Really, the only thing that's gonna sell it is, games. Unfortunately, those are your first adopters are gonna be your gamers,
the hardcore gamers, yeah.
Right, and you need to sell that to them with games. They don't care about all these extra. I don't care if I can make a pizza with
Kinect.
With Kinect, okay, all right, Pizza Hut. But yeah. Speaking about like Kinect and Xbox Live and nonsense, what are they? Xbox Live hasn't really changed much since the release of Xbox 360. We've had a few dashboard changes, like kind of for the better, I would say. But other than that, I mean, they increased the price $10. I know you probably don't know that, but I do.
No, yeah, I know. I know that those
originally $50 a year, and now it went up to $60. I honestly don't know why I'm paying $10 more, but I seriously think they need to kind of take another look at this pay to play type of mentality, because back then it was acceptable because your only other alternatives was PlayStation 3, which had a shitty, internet service, and then there was Nintendo, which didn't have really.
Let's not even mention Nintendo.
Friend codes. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. But now PlayStation has stepped up their game. They're not quite there yet. They still have some features that should be kind of needed, like conversing with another human being. But it seems like they've learned their lesson with the new PlayStation 4, according to what they're saying. Then again, it all sounds good in theory. But I seriously think that Xbox or Microsoft really needs to look at this subscription-based service and kind of take a page out of Sony's book and see what they're doing with theirs and why people would want to pay for that rather than Xbox Live. Because right now I don't know why I'm paying $60. It
Yeah.
seems like it's just to play with my friends, $60 a year. I mean, the service is good, but is it really worth $60 a year to?
And that's what I wanted to bring up. On Xbox Live now, it seems like all these things that are behind the paywall that you get when you pay $60 are free elsewhere. And not even on just PlayStation. I'm talking like all these smart TVs,
Right.
these Blu-ray players that are, the smart Blu-ray players. It's on tablets now, like Netflix and Skype and Hulu and all that stuff you have to pay to get on Xbox Live, yet on all these other things it's free. So
Right.
like if they want to continue charging for Xbox Live, which I fully think they're going to continue to do so.
Well,
they're-
there's the rumors, but we'll get into that later.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I expect them to still charge for it. That they need to add things because when Xbox Live first came out, it was giving you things you couldn't get elsewhere, and you're like, wow, this is what I'm paying for. So now again, they're gonna have to give you apps or give you features that you can't get anywhere else and that are worth paying for, like Xbox TV. That rumor. If it's like a full-on channel with like original programming, I mean that's a nice incentive to want to pay $60, for Xbox Live. And even this whole cable box business, if that works somehow with Xbox Live, they have to just keep incentivizing it,
Right.
basically.
Right. So
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. Oh, I'm sorry. You mentioned about the Xbox Live and if they're gonna continue paying for it. There is rumors out there on the price of the actual box, and people are saying that it's going to be either $500 or $499 or $299 with a 2-year subscription to Xbox Live. And I believe they tested this out with the Xbox 360,
Yeah.
the price thing with the subscription model. And I guess it seems to be successful because they're still if
Yeah,
they
good
include
enough to
this.
do it again.
Right. Again, this is not official, but these are rumors. Um, so it seems. Do you feel as if we don't have a price from Sony yet, and I think they're gonna wait until Xbox
And
gives
vice versa. So
Right.
I don't think at this event prices are going to be announced.
right.
But as we've talked before, $499 is a little steep. To me, the magic price point for launching a console is $399 at the most.
Right.
But again, who knows? What if Xbox and PlayStation for both come out at $499? Then you got to look at it differently. But that $499 seems a little steep. The contract thing, I mean, if you do that, don't you end up paying more money anyway down the line?
Well, it's 2 years. Technically, it's $10 a month.
Yikes.
Yeah. So apparently that was the rumor. It's like $10 a month essentially is what you're paying. So my math is terrible.
Bro, do you even math?
Dude, I'm an artist, not a mathematician.
Right, I got a calculator out. Let me see this. 10 times 12, all right, is that's $120.
Yeah.
Okay, so how much is the
So
console?
you are paying a lot more.
Yeah, you're paying more. You might as well just get the $499 one. But
Then
there will be.
technically, you got to you're paying for Xbox Live service, so you would be paying this anyways if you wanted to play with your friends. If they're gonna continue it the same way.
But if Xbox Live is $60 a year, you just paid $120. Like, I don't know.
I guess. And
Well, wait, are you saying it's as if you are buying the $499 console and 2 years of Xbox Live? Maybe that works out.
maybe.
Someone out there figure this out. If you're into math, come back at us and let us know because I don't math.
It's really simple if we just look at it, but I don't have a pen and I don't want to use my brain.
I don't math. Okay, maybe
let's-
you do.
Let's move on. So we figured out. recording, and we are recording this a lot later than we are usually doing it with the other show. But we just found out today that the DRM, according to an email that was blasted out to Microsoft employees, right? Is that what it was?
Yes.
That the DRM is not official. Like it's not real. There's no always online crap that
Well, that's not to say that the console can't always be online, is that it's
yeah.
not necessary.
It's not required to be online to play your single player games or whatever. So, which is good. That I mean,
Yes.
I mean, that's what they should have because at this day the infrastructure for our internet in America is pretty shit. So and our power if you watch the Super Bowl, but that's another topic entirely.
You know what I wanted to say was interesting about this is
Yeah.
that it took Microsoft this long, and this is like not even official, but like, you know, the second people started flipping out about the DRM, they should have addressed it. They really should have addressed it.
I don't know because I think even though it's bad press, it's still press, and that people are talking about it no matter what, and it's not official. People can jump to conclusions, but if they completely shut it down the day it was said, then we would have nothing to talk about, So it's bad publicity, but it's still publicity. People have.
Let me read here what exactly the email says. There are a number of scenarios. Well, let me read from the beginning. Durango is designed to deliver the future of entertainment while engineered to be tolerant of today's internet. I think that means like it can be online always. There are a number of scenarios that our users expect to work without an internet connection, and those should just work. And then et cetera, et cetera. These include, but not limited to, playing Blu-ray disc, which also that confirms or kinda confirms it's gonna have a Blu-ray drive and take Blu-ray disc, watching live TV, and yes, playing a single-player game. So the DRM seems to be non-existent, and also like me and George were talking about is basically if you can play a single-player game offline, then we would assume it could play a used game also, that it would just allow that.
Should knock that out of
Yeah, so this is a step in the right direction. Like, this is something that I was terrified of and completely against and would totally keep me from getting this thing. But now that that's been cleared up, I feel a lot better about the Xbox, and I feel a lot better about its chances. I really thought that if they were going ahead with this and PlayStation 4 was still on this other side of saying we don't have DRM, you can play used games, I really thought that would help out PlayStation 4 a lot.
Right. Right. That would automatically put them ahead because the outrage of gamers and stuff. Again, it could be different if they showed a bunch of exclusives that can only be on Xbox and they're really good looking. That could sway the opinion because again, always online to me is not too much of a big deal if Microsoft. If their servers are, capable of handling such a request, I'm not worried about my end. I'm worried about their end when it comes to DRM because I've played games. I play Blizzard games that they're all DRM. It's all you need to have the internet connection or you can't play. It's kind of balls when it doesn't work. Diablo didn't work when it started. And SimCity, I haven't played it, but I heard it had a really bad launch, but actually still a good game. But we're not ready for that yet.
No, and there's just a huge amount of people who own 360 who just want to play games, don't care about being online,
right?
Don't care to play online. They just want to play, their regular games, and that would alienate them and push them to want to go elsewhere outside of Xbox. So it's good that they're not doing this.
Yeah. Well, let's go back to for the mention of the TV and the whole entertainment package experience.
Yes.
I can't remember. I think his name is Michael Pachter. He's like a business guy or whatever.
The analyst.
The analyst, yeah. He mentioned during probably some episode of some show, he mentioned that when the Xbox was being released, their vision was an ultimate entertainment, device. Like this was supposed to be your one-stop source for everything. And when the Xbox came out, the people that were in charge seemed to focus on games and only games. And now, once like I guess the president of that company swapped around, then they started going back to the entertainment as a whole type thing. So I think that's what we're going to be seeing. That's what their main focus is. I feel they might be going the way of the Nintendo, not meaning that they're going for the casual market, but I think they're going for a different market, like a broader market than PlayStation. PlayStation's still focusing on gamers, gamers come first and all the other stuff is secondary. Meanwhile, I think Microsoft is like saying, this is also a gaming machine with so and so and so.
Yeah,
so
Microsoft
features.
wants to attack all fronts.
Yeah, which I'm kind of scared about, since I was a huge fan of the original Xbox. I think, PlayStation 2 was my favorite, but the Xbox had a lot of great games. Xbox 360 had a strong start, and it had a good infrastructure and managed to hold out while PlayStation started catching up near the end. But this is what I'm worried about, that they're gonna go away from their market, their core gamers, which is unfortunate.
Maybe even less exclusives than we already have.
Yeah, that's a scary thought. I'm probably gonna get it anyways because I love I love Halo, and I really want to see where that goes. But yeah, it's unfortunate. I don't like Gears of War anymore. I stopped after 2. I got sick of it.
Man, it took you all the way until then.
What, 2? 2 was a good game. Then I started playing. I played like a half an hour of 3, and then I was just like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah.
I want my Unreal tournament
back.
Or, yeah, wherever they're on now.
Speaking of this conference, I think one thing they can learn from the Sony conference that they didn't do and people complained was show the console. Show the actual console.
Well, they have to, because they said in I think it was Major Nelson or somebody tweeted, it's like, oh, that's one way of revealing a console by not showing it. So they better step up and show that damn console, because if not, then they're gonna get so much shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also I wanted to bring up, do you get the sense, at least a little bit, that Microsoft has this air of like they're kind of cocky this time around? They're kind of a little bit arrogant.
I think this was the way Sony was when the release of PS3 was, and they were very cocky. They're like, whatever, you're gonna buy it anyways.
Yeah.
And I think now Xbox, since they were on top most of this generation.
Yeah.
If you exclude Nintendo from the picture.
We've been doing that.
I think this
whole segment.
Yeah. I think they're going the route of Sony, and it's gonna bite them in the ass, and which is not good.
This doesn't work. Yeah.
Because they lost the first one, and then I would say, in my opinion, they generally won this generation.
We can say they won in the U.S. without a doubt.
Right.
They won the United States. The rest of the world, it's pretty neck and neck with PlayStation 3.
Yeah. But I feel like if they continue this type of mentality, this asshole, whatever, we're Xbox, we're Microsoft, which they've done before many times, but
yeah,
if they continue with that, then they're gonna have a lot of problems.
I also think that although this press conference is exciting, I think the real fun is E3. I say at E3 we really get to see all of the games, and that's what I personally care about.
We're probably gonna get most of the information there, the real stuff. This is gonna be like a small tease. It's only an hour long.
Yeah, I keep thinking about that it's only an hour long, so it can't be a whole lot,
Right.
But it should still be fun, but I just think the real fun.
I think what they should do, in my opinion, my best outcome of this press conference should just be a whole hour long trailer of exclusives. Just an hour long of just crap that you've never seen before. I don't even want a spokesman. Just it's like, hey, this is the next Xbox, and then that's it. Show the box,
Hey, thanks,
and then
bye.
just show an hour-long movie of video, and then do all that information crap at E3. Just get me hyped. That's all I need to know. But then again, we're probably gonna have Milo and Peter Molyneux, and even though he's not with.
I'm back.
I'm back with Milo, and he's now a real person with the Illuma room or whatever that Illumi.
Yeah.
But but I think that pretty much we can recap. Hopefully it's not $500. We're pretty sure right now that it's not gonna have the always online feature.
Yeah.
They need to have exclusives in order to sell this thing, and Xbox Live.
Xbox Live.
Yeah, they need to reevaluate that whole subscription-based model. But
And make it entertaining. Make it fun.
make it fun. Don't bring out kids. I don't want to see kids with your Kinect crap. You better keep kids out of this, all right? Or I'm shutting off the TV. And I'm not... Fist bump. Yay, we did it!
Yeah, I don't want to see Dance Central 4.
I don't want to see Usher on that stage.
Yeah.
Ooh, baby, baby, ooh, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, just keep it brief. Don't I'm gonna admit that Sony they kind of got wordy on their press conference.
It was long-winded.
They had a lot of people talking, and they stretched that press conference out.
People like Square Enix and Media Molecule, who makes Little Big Planet, they had like no business being there talking about what they talked about.
Yeah. They do. Well, I'm pretty sure whatchamacallit's going to be revealed there. The next Call of Duty, Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
So we know there's going to be a game there.
I say that I would put my money on that and Forza 5, are they up to 5? Is that what it would be?
I think so.
The next Forza game,
3.
and
yeah.
I imagine at launch it'd probably have a Forza.
Yeah. I'll probably buy Forza. I'm not gonna lie. I like Forza. But I don't buy every iteration of it. I only buy like one. I don't care how much the car changed in the next one.
Yeah. And maybe I feel like it's too soon for a Halo tease, but you never know.
Maybe. There might be a small tidbit.
Because I know that's where the money is.
That is where their money comes.
But you see, I thought that with PlayStation 4, I was like, oh, there'll be a Nathan Drake Uncharted little...
Alright. Well, I guess that'll wrap up this week's episode. Guys, follow us on Facebook. Follow us. Subscribe to us on YouTube. You can subscribe to us on iTunes. I'll give you all the links below. Comment.
Send us in questions.
Questions. Anything. Opinions. Give us thumbs up on the thing, that really helps us out on, creating a YouTube channel, with actual stuff and, traffic. We're going to have Iron Man 3 review out soon, and next week, God only knows what we're talking about. We'll figure it out. But yeah, we'll see you again. Thanks a lot, guys. Sorry, Rico, that you couldn't make it at this part.
Rico, I missed you.
All right. Have a good one, guys.